Berkshire Hathaway just made their extremely delayed purchase of Amazon. It seems rather unusual to get into Amazon at this stage, but Warren the insider Buffett obviously knows what's going to happen before the general public does. Let's take a look at exactly what they bought. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. I like to regularly cover what Berkshire Hathaway is doing here on this channel, just showing you directly from the SEC's own website. You can see the documentation for yourself. You don't have to look at the articles. You don't have to look at the hearsay. You can actually look into this for yourself. I'm going to show you exactly what they purchased. Warren Buffett always gets the attention because of Berkshire Hathaway's success. However, there's one man who he does mention, and in fact, both of Bill Gates and Warren Buffett have talked about Charlie Munger being the smartest guy that they know. Although he sits in the background, he doesn't really take the center stage, but Charlie Munger is somebody that people should be paying attention to equally or even more so than Warren Buffett. Okay, I just wanted to mention that because I find he doesn't get enough attention. These guys read all day long. They've all said if they wanted to have one skill that was improved somehow, that it would be the skill to read better. Being able to consume more information in a shorter period of time, still bringing that all in. Of course, that would be fantastic if everybody could have that. That's for sure. The ability to get more information in will help everybody, no matter what are into. We are looking at the SEC's own website. When I want to know something, I go directly to the source. I don't fiddle around. I give you the actual documentation. Here you can see the actual 13F filing. So all of these companies here, they have to file a 13F with the SEC, and you're able to pull that up and see exactly what the company bought, what they sold, and you see that in the past. Okay, you don't know every day what they're buying and selling, but you know from the previous quarter what their activities were. This filing is actually as of February 14th, but it is the newest report. I wanted to show you that. You can see it here for yourself. If we go in, this is the list. Looking at the top of the list, you are seeing Amazon is right here. And of course, when you break it down, it shows you the total value, which of course is, I believe, over $800 million worth. It's a small position considering the size of Berkshire Hathaway, but they're starting to get their feet wet. Now, as I have said repeatedly, when I show you this type of documentation, the SEC's website, although it's important to make sure that you're going there to check, is it accurate, you also want to go onto another site that's going to give it to you in a much more easy to read manner, because quite frankly, it's so difficult to look at this SEC website. It's just really not organized properly. So I use 3 websites that I like to look at every time I am focusing in on one of these companies, and that is Whale Wisdom, Holdings Channel, and Fintel.io. Between the 3 of these, I get different pieces of data, but they all pull from the same 13F. By the way, if you want to know how to find this information for yourself, I created a video, a very short one, that breaks it all down. Go to the end of this video and I have linked to it there. All you gotta do is click on it and I will see you on that video. But for this one, I wanted to show you the top buys, okay? So we're looking right here at Amazon, JP Morgan, Red Hat, Delta, and PNC. So this is their top buys right here. Their top sells. Wells Fargo is at the top of that list, okay? Just wanted to give you all of that information, including their biggest holdings, which are Apple, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Coca-Cola, and American Express. Now, you're looking at a quarter of the portfolio of Berkshire Hathaway as it relates to their 13F. Remember, if they own entire companies outright, if they own something in a different country, this doesn't apply. The 13F only covers a limited set of data, but it gives us some insight, and that's why I do believe it's important. And of course, when you see it in the news that Warren Buffett bought this or that, this is where they're getting that information from. Obviously, Berkshire, Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, they really do believe in the success of Apple over the long term. They've invested heavily into it. And so far, obviously, they've profited as a result. We'll see what happens in the future. In the bottom right corner, you can see the market value, the prior market value, how it has gone up in the most recent quarter. That's for sure, because the stock market has come up since the end of 2018. They lost quite a bit in that quarter, as with everyone else. And you can see how many new purchases, one stock, that would be Amazon, and then how they changed their portfolio around. All that detail is there if you want to check it out. Then we're looking at holdings channel, a different way to look at it. You know, you're pulling the same data, but I like the fact that I can see it in a different way, and sometimes that triggers something for me. So you'll see here the negatives as you look for the red lines and compare that to the right here with the green plus symbol, just showing you the difference, increasing the JP Morgan shares that they have and decreasing the Wells Fargo. Looking at Amazon, which I do not see in this list, but I might be missing it right here, Amazon, actually, right at the bottom here. And I believe if you total that up, $860 million, by the way, I believe that is 7 shares of Amazon. I could be wrong on my calculation, but I'm pretty sure it's 7 shares of Amazon because that is the magic number. Then we're looking at fintel.io, just showing you what I like about this site is basically the fact that I can rearrange each of the columns. So whether that's the share price, how many shares they had, what the current value is, and so on, I can actually arrange it by any of these columns. So being able to do that gives me an advantage if I want to see what was the biggest change this time around or what do they own the most of. I can easily just click a couple buttons and I get that data. So this is interesting to see. Once again, we're looking at Apple at the top of the list. They have one hell of a massive collection of Apple shares. There is no doubt about that. And you can see the comparison between the others as well if you're interested. Okay, so that's information is there if you want to take a look at it. I just wanted to cover this article very quickly before we finish off the video. Big US hedge funds fell back in love with FANG stocks in the first quarter. That's according to the filings looking at the 13 Fs. Some of the biggest, highest profile US hedge fund investors and money managers fell back in love with the FANGs in the first quarter, according to the regulatory filings, after dumping shares of Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Alphabet. The FANG components, prominent hedge fund managers have moved back into the popular group. And we have seen the stocks rising, of course, during the first quarter. In general, stocks have done very well, especially when you compare it to the previous quarter. The fourth quarter of 2018 looked very, very bad. And of course, we can see the results of that. I mean, we were talking about it's going to be a recession. You're seeing the bear markets appearing, but no, don't worry. The central banks decided to print a whole bunch of money and they were able to prop the stock market up again. That's all it needs is the easy money, the quantitative easing, the fake money, the fake false lie that is resting upon a crutch that, of course, will in fact have to fall at one point. That will make for some interesting news ahead. If you found this video informative, please give me a thumbs up when you give me a like on this video. You're supporting me, so I do appreciate that very much. If you want to know all the details about the foundation, history, the asset classes, paper assets, real estate, everything and in between, you got to see these 2 books, all right? Check them out at the link in the description. If you want the audiobook, that's available at themoneygps.com. If you want to find out exactly what stocks different companies are buying, then you need to watch this video. It's very short. I break it down, tell you exactly how to do so yourself. Click on it and I will see you there.